Cool, we're here with Crash and Burn Racing, and today we're taking a look at the Foxeer Arrow Micro 2. Inside the box, you will receive your manual, another card, your camera, a bag with all your wires. In that bag, you will receive your controller where you can make your OSD changes. Here's all your screws and your wiring harness, and this little guy right here is where your controller will plug into. Looking at the back of the box, you'll see it is a 600 TVL in color and 650 TVL in black and white. It has built-in OSD with voltage, flying time, and your craft's name. And it has an input voltage of 5 to 40 volts, which pretty much covers everything but 1S. It is a 1/3 Sony Super HAD 2 CCD sensor. This one comes with a 2.1mm lens, but you can get a 2.3mm lens for it. This one happens to be blue, but you can also get it in black and orange. It weighs 5.6 grams. It measures 19mm from side to side, 18.6mm from top to bottom, and 11mm from the mounting point forward, and 11mm from the middle point here to the back to the connector. Comparing this Foxeer camera to the Runcam Micro, you'll see they're pretty much the exact same form factor, with the exception of the lens. The lens on the Runcam seems a little bit nicer designed, doesn't quite stick out as far, and they pretty much weigh exactly the same, but there's one very big difference that could come into play in durability wise, and that there's a coating on all these electronics in here where you cannot short if a piece of metal falls in there. However, this is actually not protected, so that is one downside of this camera compared to the Micro. But other than that, they're practically this, like I said, the same camera. And I guess this frame is also maybe just a tiny bit cleaner looking than this one. The manual does a really nice job explaining how to hook up your controller here and how to get into the menu to try out all the features that it has built in. So we're going to get this hooked up and get into this OSD menu. Here's the harness ready to start soldering to our video transmitter, and all I did was cut off the other side here, and the blue wire will be going to a positive on your power distribution board or somewhere where the direct LiPo voltage is going in, and the other wires are just your normal power, ground, and video. So let's go over the main menu options real quick. If you hit the middle button, here you'll be able to change your camera settings. So let's get out of this. Now to change your bottom OSD, it's these three buttons down here. So if you hold down the left button for about 3 seconds, you can move it back and forth, and you can do that for all three of the bottom options here with these three buttons. To get into our other menu, we're going to hold down the top button up here. And here is the menu. Ratio is where you'll be able to tune your voltage reading, so you can increase it or decrease it to get the correct reading. Mode is where you change your camera settings. It has presets for vivid, sunny, cloudy. This is something I put in there. And user 2, this will say user 1. But you can put in your own settings in there. And font, this is where you can change it to be a little thinner and a little smaller. Name. Of course, you can turn the name off for your craft. You can turn the time off or on, the power off or on. STA was off originally, but I turned this on when I was doing some recording to see what setting the camera was in. And of course, you can hit just exit and save. Here's a quick look at the 4 presets that are available to you. I personally don't see much of a difference between default and cloudy, but there may be several of you that actually find this feature very useful. Here's a comparison between the Runcam Micro and the Foxeer Micro. And the only real difference is the lens on the Runcam Micro is a 2.1, so you have a little bit wider field of view, so that's why you can see my motors in that one and not in the Foxeer camera. But for picture quality, they both handle the sunlight very well, and the colors look very similar, a little bit of variation, not much. But you really can't go wrong with either camera, to be honest. So if you're a Foxeer person, you might as well just go with the Foxeer camera. And if you like Runcam, go with the Runcam camera. So that wraps up this review of the Foxeer Micro camera. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you disliked it, give it a dislike. I'm Corey with Crash and Burn Racing, and thank you for watching.